Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Rohit. Today we'll talk about the item designer. Item designer is a facility that giving you that you can do and you can create a catalog item without knowing much knowledge on the coding side. Catalog admin or the catalog item designer, they can simply create the item without doing much coding and they can fulfill their requirement. But there is a limitation on that in the item designer. Using that, you can only create that task and approval. You can't do much customizations, you can't do much things on that. So you can simply create the catalog item, and then from the catalog item, you can simply uh, create the task, you can simply create the approvals, and then you can simply close the catalog item. So let's see how it works. Very first thing is that in the ServiceNow module, if you type that item designer, you will be able to see this is the module called item designer. This module, if I click here, you will be able to see that this module is visible to the catalog admin, catalog item designer. So who have the catalog admin role or the catalog item designer, they will be able to access this module. Now here is the things. So in item designer, as a designer, you should create your own category, and based on that category, catalog designer or catalog admin can create that items. So let's see for here. So I am that as admin I'm doing, but if you think about the catalog item designer point of view or catalog item admin point of view, they should create first a categories, and based on that category, they can still creating multiple items inside that. So let's see how it works. Very first thing is that you should create a category. So I am just creating a new category called DB instance or something like that, or maybe orchestration, and see how it looks like. So once you click here, you will be able to see this is your page where you will be able to navigate and you will be able to create the category. So normally in that platform category is already there, but here what will be happens, we will create our own category, and based on that we will create simple catalog item. Let's see. So very first thing is that we have to select the category here. I mean the catalogs. So our case is normally we can select the service catalog. If you want to select other catalog, you definitely can create or select the catalog. Here you need to select the category for which category you are trying to do that. So let's say our case is the office, and then this is the category where I can put the category name. I will say that this is the category called database new. So this is might be the main category. Here you can create the descriptions, or you can put the description and the comments. And now who will be designed? Who is the catalog or category manager that you have to define here? In my case, I'm the designer, so my name is populating, but because based on the logged in user, you can change that to that who will be manage this category. Once you submit that, it will be create a category. I mean, it will be generate a item designer category request. So if you see here in the my item category now, we created a item designer request earlier. Now we can see there is one request which is generated, and the state is the requested state. Now catalog admin or admin have to decide that this category has to be approved or not. So they will simply go to this item designer, they will notify by the email, and they will have to go to this designer, and they have to be either reject or create the simply category. So our case maybe will simply allow them and create the category. Once we click that, the state will be changes here and the category will be created. Before that, so far, this category is not available in these items. So let's click the create category, and it will simply create one category. You can see that the database category is created and this state is changed to the uh, created. Now you can still add some user, I mean the editor who will be edit that category. You can change the manager, everything. So let's forget about this one. So your category is ready. All the item under this category will be created. So you can simply go and click the create new. It will be create the category. I mean, it will create the item under this category. So our category name is the database new, and you can see now it's in a reference icon. It means that category is getting created. And now what we'll do, we'll click simply create a new item. So once we click the create a new item, the new item designer record will be open, and here you can simply create a catalog item. As I mentioned, the catalog item will be much simpler than the normal catalog item because it's, you can say, that zero based coding. You don't need to write much coding. As a designer, you just need to be put the catalog item name, a little bit descriptions. You can generate approvals. You can generate task. So let's see that create new, new um, uh, database instance. But here you can't put that mask customization. You can't create, you can't create the automation task. This has to be manual. As I said, using the item designer, you can do two things: generate the approvals and generate the task sequentially or parallelly based on your condition. So let's do that. I have selected that the catalog item name is create new database instance. Category is database. Catalog is the service catalog. This is coming from by default when we are clicking that create new item under this category. Now here you have to select the availability, that it should have available on portals or it should have only available for desktop. That you have to be defined here. You have to define the cost of this and recurring cost of this. So that's depend on you, and then simply save that. Once you save that, you will be notified that, or you will be able to see that this state is in draft state. It means that the catalog item is not yet available in this instance. You can still see that. Now here you can see that the four tabs is there. Four tabs is the very first thing is that you can see the sections one, which is by default created without any label. If you want to change the label, you can change. Otherwise, it have normal information. So let's say I'll ask one question, very first question that I'll ask from user, the requested for, right? Who is the requested for that, for this request? So let's create that. So by so my first very question is the who is the requested for. I'll choose that type is the reference here. And here you can see that question type. So these are the already predefined in the backend. So you can only select the active user. You can only select the configuration items, location, department group. These questions are already predefined. You can't keep on selecting anything. Now here is the thing. These are the questions that you can select. I'm sorry that you cannot select the requested for out of box because these are the question by default out of box is available, and these questions are coming, or the configuration is coming from this question type. If you see here, this is the question type where the question is defined, that which type of question you can only select, because this is only limited for that catalog designer. They don't have much flexibility that the normal catalog item, right? So what are the type of question type is available here? You can see these are the question type. Now here you can see our case is the reference. If I show match with the question class is the reference, you can see this 5 question type or question type is available, that active user, configuration, location, department and groups. So these are the question which is showing here. If your catalog admin or your normal admin think that this is not enough, they can create their own defined customized catalog item. Customized question. I'll simply open one of the items and show you that how it looks like. So let's select the active user. So whenever you select the active user, the question type or maybe the question name is the active user. Its type is the reference type. This is the description. These will be the question. Everything is predefined. You don't have to, or you don't need to unnecessarily change anything. This is the help text, and this is the default value is blank. And then the question is the type is the reference type, and then the question qualifier is the blank. So this is predefined. You don't need to do anything. Whenever you select that, the by default the question will be the select person. So you don't need to do anything. Okay. So this is coming from the question. So if you see here, we have various types of question. If I group by with the class or what are the types of question we can select, you can see pretty much checkbox, date, date time label, multi-line text, single line text, everything is there. So if I open the single line text, it is saying that how it is defined, you will be able to see that. So this is the name that create your own single line text. And here you can see the question class, we are selecting that the single line text, and then as it is single line text, it's everything is in blank. Okay. So this is the way they have already predefined. I mean, you don't need to unnecessary. They don't want to give the control unnecessary to the catalog item admin or designer because it's a simple catalog item, because there is no much options or ability to giving you. But as a admin, you can later set those configuration for the other user. So I'll say that only active users should be available, and which section I want in the sections one. And then you can see by default the help text is getting populated. I just have to click the submit. So very first thing is that it have generate one question. Now next thing is that you can create keep on sections. So I'll create one more sections called instance details. So I'll click here and add sections. And here I'll put the level of the sections. I'll say that instance details. And position is the 2 because the very first position is the by default position. So I'll create the position 2. And you can see these are the sections 1, this is the sections 2. And then in the sections 2, I'll create a few more questions. Might be that a database, name and other things. So let's try to do that. So I'll put the single line text. The question will be database instance name. And there is no default value. I'll submit that. And then I have to select that which section the question will be visible. Our case is the second sections. I'll select the second section and submit. So I have created two questions. One is the active user will be available, and in the second we'll select that we can say that who is the actual, the database instance name. Next, you might be add few more questions that doesn't matter, or that depends on you. Now, after submitting that, what process we should follow? As I said, we can create the approvals and we can create the task. So let's do that. If I go to the approvals here, I can click add an approvals here. I'll just simply click there. And you can see the type I have to define here. So user or group or predefined approval. I'll come one by one. What is the user? And here the order is very important. So very first thing is that I'll put the group approval here, and then I'll select a groups, but make sure that group have some at least approve, some user. Otherwise this step will be skipped. I'll select the build support, and then the order will be 50. So this will be the first approval. After that, if I want to add one more approval, so I'll click add an approval. In this case, I'll select a user so that the user will be able to approve. So I'll select the user, and then I'll select the particular user that they have to be approved. Okay. So in my case, I'll select my name itself so that whenever the approval will be generated, this has to be approved by myself. So this is the 50 order, and this is the 100 or 150 order. I'll create one more approval here that to show you that predefined approval. What is the predefined approval? So predefined approval is that already some predefined code is injected inside there. You can create multiple predefined script as a admin, but this is not available for normal user. They can only select that. So if I select the requester manager, who will be request their manager approval, if you want, you can just select the predefined manager here. But if you want to create multiple predefined script, you can definitely create and reuse that. So I'll select the requester manager. In case if I don't have manager, it will be skipped. And you also notice that the order is automatically keep changing and it tracking that what approvals or what is the order. I'll submit. So it will be generate three approvals. Very first thing it will be generate the group approval. Second is the user approval, and third is the predefined approval, which is the my manager approval. Now let's talk about the task. So we'll create some task after approval maybe. So we'll create add task, and here you should definitely put some order. Our case, I'll put that I'm going to create a, you can say the task which is user specified or predefined. There is two options. Again, the predefined means that have already injected in somewhere here, have some script. You can reuse that local database team for requester. Otherwise, you can just use the user specified. Here in the user specified, you can select the groups to whom that task will be generated. Our case, we can say that ATF this one, and so once you select the groups, you can select the user, which is member of that. So that task will be assigned directly to them. And here order will be 300. And then we can say the automation task or maybe create database instance. There will be more specifically. And then I'll put the same to the description and submit. So what is happening behind that? Let's understand correctly. So whenever we'll raise the request, it will be generate three approvals. After that, it will create a task which is ordered in the 300, and it will be assigned to this particular groups. Okay, and these have two sections and one question. So that's a pretty much simple task. There is nothing major, you can say, but using that, you can generate approval, you can generate the task as I mentioned earlier. So let's publish this catalog item and see how it works. Once you publish the catalog item, you will be able to see one try button here in the bottom, and you can click try to try the catalog item. As I mentioned, this is the select person, which is you can select all the active user. I'll select that as a active user who have manager. I don't know, let's select that who don't have, I mean who have the manager. Manager is not empty, and we'll just run that. So these are the user who doesn't have, I mean who have the actually manager. I'll select this user and then db001, maybe this is the name, and order that catalog item. You can see two sections available here. This is the 0 section, this is the section 1. So the request is generated, and we can simply go to the request and open the RITM. Here is the thing, this has the complex workflow that is predefined injected inside that. You can see this is the section 1 when this is the sections 2 where we have put that username. Now it's generate one group approval as per the order, our order. If I go back to this here, this item, as per the order, very first order is the 50, which is the group approval, which is the billing support. It generate one approval. So you can see this billing support, and which is generate one approval. I'll simply approve this one, and then again it should go to the actual user, right? As per the second step is that 150, it should go to the my approval. So let's see. Once we go back to this RITM, this is the RITM, and you can see the second approval is generated, which is come to me, and I'll simply approve that. Before approving that, I just want to show the workflow. It is a little bit complex. If you want to go through this workflow well enough, you can go those workflow. There is maximum 4, I mean the 4 workflow is attached by default. You can see this is the 4 workflow. So I'll just approve this one. After that, as per our third approval, or you can say the third order, predefined approval requester manager, it should go to the whoever requested their manager approval. So let's see. It did not goes to the requester manager because requester is myself and I guess I don't have any manager. So yeah, so I don't have any manager. That's the reason it's just skipped because I am the requester. And then finally it's generated task and the task have assigned to the group and user based on this condition called this is the groups and this is the user. Based on that, it's generated task and this task is assigned to this group and this user. So that is pretty much a complete flow or complete a simple design. Let's try to do one thing. What I'm trying to do here, I am putting this after 50 approval, I want to put the task and let's see how it behaves. So I'll change this task order to 100, right? So you can see after changing that, the catalog item state will be changed to draft state. You can see the state is changed to the draft. And now you can see that the approval state is 50. After that, I change and then I put the order equal to 100. So typically, it should generate first group approval. After that, it should generate the task. And after that, it should generate the approval. Let's see how it behaves. So I'll just publish this item and try it. So this item is published. Um, I'll put the short description a little bit here because it is coming as a blank whenever you are generating the request. So I'll put that short description again, the same name, and publish. Okay, so I'll just click the publish. So item will be ready to use that. Let's see. Now I'll go to the try it. So whenever you make any changes, you won't be able to see the try it button. It will be changed to the draft state and you won't be able to see or you won't be able to try it. So you have to keep on publish and see that item. So I'll click the try it here from this button and here I'll select one more time called any username and then here some database instance name and I'll click the order now. You will simply see that now the description is coming here because previously it was not coming. These things are coming from the short description so that I can directly go to the jump to the R item. So this is the R item and normally it should generate the group approvals and I'll approve that. And now after that it should generate a catalog task. Let's see how it behaves because 100 order is the catalog task order. Let's see. So you can see it's not generate the approvals because as per my item, if you see the my items, right? So this is the item. I have put that the approval is 50 and then 150 and 250 in between. I have put this is the order of 100, but still it is not honoring the approval. So there is a one bug, or you can say that this is the one loopholes in this item that it will always honor your approvals, and after that complete all the approvals, it goes to the task. So that is the one loophole I can see here. So let's approve, and then after that, I guess it will be generate the catalog task. So here the most preference you can see is the approval. So you can see this is approves and after that it generate the task. So let's go back to that RITM. So you can see after approve these two, it's generate the task. It means that there is nothing that you can put in between this approval. So approve after one approval, if you want to create a task and after that you want to create the approvals, you can't do that. So all the approval has to be done one by one and after that you can create the task. That's the one issue I can find in this product. So pretty much these things are, I think, clear. Now I just want to show you two things, the predefined approvals and the predefined task, that things I have shown you during this process. Like whenever you are creating a task, there is options called predefined script. I'll predefine you whenever you are selecting some predefined is coming here and similar for the approval. So how it is coming, because this is actually defined in somewhere behind the screen so that you can reuse that. So predefined approval. So from where these are the things coming? So these things are basically coming from here. Simply you can go to these approval type definitions and you can see requester manager. So it means that the script is injected here. You can create as many as script if you want. So whenever you're coming here, you are selecting the requesters manager, which is not, which is actually generated here, which is defined here basically. So approval should be generated whoever is request dot requested for dot manager. Basically, who will be a requester manager, requested for manager. Approval should go to there. That is the what it is defined here. So it's a predefined. As a catalog admin or admin can define those types of things here. Similarly, for the task definition, whenever you're going to the task and creating the predefined, like whenever you're going to task and selecting the predefined, right? Here you are selecting predefined. There is some script is coming. So this is coming from basically inside the task assignment definition, which is defined here called local database team for requester, which is basically you are able to select that. So these things are coming from your here, and you can simply write some script for the task. So you can see that the task assignment group will be defined based on the location. So this type of small coding you can definitely inject here and then reuse that. But the bug I can found that the major bug I can say is that you cannot put approval and the task in between that. So that's the one part. But if you want to use the approvals after that the task, I think this is the pretty much enough for use the catalog item. So that's it for today. Thank you guys. Have a great day.